Welcome to Alienized Photos Industry Talk with your host, photographer Jackson, and I'm here in Atlanta, August 7th, 2025, day one of Podcast Summit 2025. Y'all see how that rhymed? Yes, but just to open up the day, Wall Street Trapper. And by the way, I'm outside, so if you hear all type of noises and car rides and random voices yelling, I'm outside. This is organic here in Atlanta. But yeah, Wall Street Trapper, he opened it up with the energy. The motivation. Like, he told us in order to learn, you need to be in a relaxed state. Like, that is true, studying meditation and Buddhism, like, that is true. You learn best when you're in a relaxed state. That's the only way you learn. Because if you're riled up and you're mad, the wavelengths is shorter, like it, and even your mind is, the attention span is short. So that's just something to think about. And then he also spoke about, what are you really good at? Like, what are you good at? What are you good at? So everybody that's good at multiple things, pick one thing that you're really good at. One thing and just stick with it. Surrender your voice to God and be blessed like never before. When he said that, the whole room just erupted. And first you start by surrendering. It's about what you experience. And don't worry about being the number one show. Focus on the best show you can produce. That's like the icing on the cake, And he left it off with, how you start is not going to be the way you finish. Take that how you take it, but let it be in the correct manner. There was a lot more things discussed. Of course, I don't want to spill all the tea. Catch the replays, about a podcast summit replays. But, these are some good thoughts that I came across. And then Ernestine Morris interviewed Kev on stage. Out the gate, Kev, mentioned he associated himself with good times. So he associates yourself with good in general. Good spirit, good times, good moments, good experiences, good outcomes. And if everyone that has a podcast or into media attracts advertisers. Point blank simple. And everything you do is not going to be perfect. And he also has a new book out, Successful Failures. I was going to be funny with it. I ain't going to, because Kev on stage is a funny guy. Mr. Kevin, yeah. But yeah, Successful Failures. I'm going to definitely get that book. Check it out. Maybe hear some reviews on it on the podcast. So, yeah, I look forward to that. And then CJ came on stage and surprisingly introduced E.T., Mr. Eric Thomas, his right hand. And wow, they both. Like, even CJ said E.T. told him, stop having sex. Yes, stop having sex. Yeah. Whew. Well, let's just continue. But I get it, and I heard other like millionaires and billionaires say that, like, one point, they cut themselves off and, no sexual activity or no porn, no masturbation for 2 years, and that's a powerful thing to do, really. It really, really is. Your focus, you know, clarity, energy, the purity, the spirit is just pure, clean, and it's good, especially with the right person, only with the right person. Can't just be out here with any and everybody. That was the biggest message from not having sex. But if you're gonna do it, stay faithful, stay loyal. That's the only powerful thing to do, really. And to protect yourself and your spirit. And oh man, E.T. Wow. The I am, I will, I can. Man, hearing that live, oof, it's a whole nother energy. And focus where your energy flows. And focus goes where energy flows. So be mindful what you're doing, what you focus on, even what you spend your time and energy on. And then I had Mr. David Shands come out. Oh, I didn't have him come out, but he came out finally. I'm like, wow, we haven't seen Mr. Shands, the hostess with the mostest. We haven't seen him all day. Yeah, David Shands, he broke down the history of radio and how we got to podcasting and why podcasting is needed. It's becoming popular. I was going to say popular, but it's becoming popular and even more popular. And he suggests everyone should have a podcast. And I remember with the pull-up experience at the Futureland conference, our topic was every business should have a podcast. And if you want us to run that back, we definitely can. But yes, every business should have a podcast. And it's my biggest marketing piece in my business. It creates content, it's engaging. I'm building relationships. So it's so many factors. I'm attracting advertisers and sponsors. So it like I said, it's gonna be loud. I'm outside here at ATL, day one of ATL, Georgia. I'll make sure I'm specific, but people should know. Yeah, here day one podcast summit 2025. Outside is loud, it's bright. And I've got multiple cameras running. So you may see different content on different things, but yeah, it's mainly the audio for right now. So I'm pretty, cool, calm, collected. And back to where Wall Street said, to learn, you gotta be in a relaxed state. So what happens when you teach? Teach from that relaxed state. And that's something more and more I want to continue getting better at. I know I do, but, consistently and even more deeply, I just want to be more relaxed in like everything I do. I know how I am now, cool, calm, collected, laid back. It's scary for a lot of people. They don't know how to take it. But I want to become even more relaxed, laid back, chill. I still got that dynamic side of me, but for the most part, I think I'm gonna just be cool. I'm adjusting this camera, y'all. 1 second, but yeah. Okay. Nice and adjusted. But some things David Shan spoke on. Consistency creates separation. Consistency creates separation. Because if nobody else doing it, you already separating yourself from the rest. He also said, keep going. Keep going. And he said, the first 53 episodes of his podcast, no traction, not many views, little to no views for some. And the number 54 was actually with Wall Street Trapper on the Social Proof podcast. And going back to that consistency, which, back to my team and pull-up experience, that's one thing we have over everybody in Cleveland. We're consistent, very consistent. We at one point we were recording 8 shows a week. 8 shows a week. Not every week, but 6 to 8 shows a week. That's 3 days. Sometime on random day. But yeah, Tuesday's our day. If anybody want to get on the podcast, we do every other Tuesdays. We pretty booked out, most of the year. Most years, we're almost booked the full year in advance. So when people try to get on, it's not a gimmick. And, the waiting time is the waiting time because we have a waiting list, So everybody be wanting me to get them on a podcast. This is another outlet, me starting Eyez Photos to give those others an outlet, a platform. And then we could still get on a pull-up experience, but like I said, it's a wait. But we also had the honor to have Mr. David Shands on a pull-up experience podcast. And man, y'all, hey, check it out. 200. Hey. We can't thank you enough, Mr. David Shands. All you do. And yes, thank you. You encouraged me to start the podcast. Yes. Eyez Photos Industry Talk podcast. We are here. Yes, thank you. And then I met Sean Stevenson. Just breaking down the different ways to monetize. And let's just start with sponsorships. Who wants to be a sponsor on the podcast for Eyez Photos Industry Talk, where we talk business and I preach about my entrepreneur journey like I am doing right now. I am mainly an event photographer, business coach, where I hold ideation sessions to help build your strategy and marketing and your vision. I elevate positive voices in all I do with my visual media and also with my podcast. Yeah, I'm leaving all that in there, by the way, all the motorcycles. I'm leaving all that in there, y'all. The background noise, the motorcycles. Hey. I'm not going to monetize this episode anyway, so any copyrights, any music that's played in this, it's not by me at all. I have no rights to none of the music in this video. So, but yeah, I'm gonna leave the background noise in it. But yeah, Sean Stevenson. Sponsorships. I know it may be like a no thought or, a low thought that, oh yeah, why not get sponsorships? But sponsorships for events, conferences, podcasts, your brand, man, don't be afraid to reach out. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And then also, have a product, have a course, have an ebook, a physical item. Something to think about if you want to help drive revenue from your podcast into your podcast. And I'll leave you one more nugget that he I'm not gonna say well, he mentioned, don't be afraid to take equity. That's another, get 2% of this new item, this new fad, this new gadget, this new software. Why not get 2%, 5%? You don't always got to do a flat rate or, big lump sums. Don't be afraid to take that equity. Um, I think next was a panel. Yes, yes, yes. It was a panel with, let me see, Ebony Porter, Ike, Mr. Vaughn, Danielle Jeter, like the baseball player. I'm gonna say football. Freshie and Mercedes Smith, Von Alvarez. Uh, they're basically, in a PR, public relations, press release. Um, kind of got a hint at a budget. Uh, if you want that big, you know, great press release type vibe to push you like they push celebrities, 15,000 is kind of where the touch point was, because the more you pay them, the more hours and the more effort and resources they could put in. But if you have a smaller budget, it's not really going to cover their time. So think about that when you're reaching out to PR services and, PR reps and for these press releases, you know, make it a campaign, 6 months, a year, and gradually roll it out. And another thing they spoke on that was big and important was call to action. Always, always, always have a call to action. And the most important thing about a press release is the story. So make sure your story is right, it's compelling, it's vivid, it's nice. And hey, make it truthful for real. And then one of my new favorite people, Miss Alicia Little. Who may seen her on Nehemiah Davis podcast. I know you probably seen her on Earn Your Leisure podcast. I've seen her on quite a few different podcasts and networks as she continues to grow. And I love that for her. Uh, one of the things she preached on that I enjoy was just teach your AI, your style and your tone. Teach it you if you want it to be you and more like you. And yeah, she spoke on some stuff she having to work even for podcasters and how she's leveraging AI to help make these resources and tools for podcasters. So I'm definitely going to check that out and see how we can collaborate because, you know, that's my network. That's my, community podcast and especially, with the network or the pull-up experience. And, people come up to us for tips and insights and education. And, we're actually slacking with coming out with our courses or our education. We have some ebooks, but, you know, we have a lot of things in the work and it's just like the things we should focus on and, getting pulled in many directions, always got a collaboration on the table and that's good. And a lot of these things is going to take time, but yeah, I think this next sit down with the team is going to be a good one. Cause yeah, maybe we need to hire Miss Alicia Little as a coach. And then I ended the day with David Shands interviewing a rep from Go High Level. I think he's the owner, but I don't quote me on that. But one thing he was speaking on is don't be afraid to cold call. Pick up the phone and make that call. And wow, that's what more can you say? Sometimes we lose track of what worked or what we haven't tried before, you know? Have a presentation, have it ready. Don't be afraid to pitch your products and services at events. So those were some of the nuggets. No pun intended on that. Me, me and Lady B, aka Bree, Anna from Overflow Studio and Creative Frequency, and also the Pull Up Experience. And she do some BTS with Alien Eyes Photos Industry Talk and Alien Eyes Photos in general. We're definitely partners in this, and I couldn't have a better life partner in this moment in my life. So, I'm definitely appreciative. I definitely want to send gratitude to that as we're here at Podcast Summit 2025 here in Atlanta. And I know she probably waiting for me to wrap up so we could finish this other recording and do some work with me's. If you haven't checked out our work with we, www, work with we, Creative Frequency. Yeah, we about to start dropping a lot of content, and we've been sitting on the line. We've been like, oh, it ain't perfect. Oh, we didn't edit it. Oh, we didn't color grade it. Oh, it ain't finished. But I'm like, just drop it. Let's just give it to the people. You never know who this may encourage or what couple. Like, oh well, we should do something together. They're doing something. I like them. They got good chemistry. Like, we're introverts, so our way of speaking and giving back is to the camera. This is what we love. We're multi-creative geniuses. Like, I don't think I should be saying this, but just wait till we drop some music. I'm sorry, y'all. On the audio, I dropped it on the behind the scenes of the camera. I guess it's like a vlog now. This is a vlog. I'm gonna call it a vlog. Yeah, so I'm recording live on Alien Eyes Photos Industry Talk outside here in Atlanta, Georgia. Just wrapped up day one of the podcast summit 2025. And yeah, I think that was all the nuggets from the interview with David Shands and Go High Level, um, or High Level, but everybody know it as Go High Level. I think we were pretty much checked out at the time because we were ordering food and, you know, we didn't drive. So, our flight, it was about the same price as our Uber. So we were kind of doing some calculations and where we're going to eat at, or should we sit down? Should we pick up? And we ended up finding something, less than a mile. So we ended up walking, and yeah, they left my tater tots out. They left my tater tots out. And anybody that know me knows I'm a potato head. I just turned this into a vlog, so sorry. Especially on the audio. I know you can't see this. You have to check the vlog out, the behind the scenes. Because I don't do much video. So when you get the video, you're gonna be like, yeah, okay, we want more. Maybe you get more, maybe. But I'm gonna relax. I'm chilling. I'm tired, but I definitely want to push through, create. I might drop this tonight, unedited, whatever. I'm creating, and yeah. But shout out to that restaurant. It was still good, and I just count that as a tip towards the tip. It's cool. They left the tater tots out, but it's all good. I know good karma is in the universe for me. I'm gonna get a lifetime supply of tater tots. I don't know. Maybe I might invest in potatoes. I don't know. All right, at that point I'm just rambling, but yeah, stay tuned. I might do this tomorrow as we wrap up podcast summit with day 2. So yeah, I'll do this tomorrow for y'all. So if you like this, excuse me, make sure you check out the next video. Part 2. This is part 1. Mr. Photographer Jackson of Alien Eyez Photos, Industry Talk, and also of Alien Eyez Photos Media, my event photography brand where I do conferences, live events. I do weddings and headshots. I do a few other things, but those are my main services. Event photography is my bread and butter. That's what I love. That's what I'm passionate about. That's where I love connecting with people. It's nothing like a good event and that has impact. And I get to document it. It's nothing better than that to me, you know. And I provide quality, and I have a good team behind me. So, I'm blessed for everyone that worked with us, continue to book with us, and I'm only growing, expanding. I'm teaching a new era of photographers and videographers, videographers. I know I probably butchered that word, but media producers, hosts, producers, it's writers. I'm I got a lot in store, you know, and anybody that's watching this or listening to this, don't be afraid of your growth. Do not be afraid of your growth. And I'm going to leave it at that. This is Mr. Alien Eyez Photos, aka Photographer Jackson. I am signing off, and I think my audio cut out, but I hope this other mic is rolling. But I've been vlogging, so I hope it picked up. Cause yeah, I ran out of memory, y'all. That's what happened. But it's all good because that's what backup mics are for. Always have backups. That's my rule. Um, except if you're in a relationship, then you just got to stick it out and work it out. But other than that, in business, have backup computers, backup in my, media space, backup cameras, backup lighting, backup microphones. So, whew, backup clothes sometimes, people may spill water or something or drink on your clothes, or you may do it, or eat something saucy and you spilt it on your good clothes. Always have backup. So, yeah, that's my tip for today. Podcast Summit and here in Atlanta. Thank you, Mr. David Shands, Social Proof, Donnie Wiggins, everybody, the morning meetup. Man, shout out to all of y'all, the Inner Circle. I will see y'all tomorrow, but for the vlog, make sure y'all check out part 2. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, I just wrapped up I just made it into a vlog. I'm sorry for the audio listeners. I know could be doing the most sometime. My audio cut off from my main source, but it's all cool because we are back and I'm going to wrap up. Thank you for the backup mic. Shout out to Miss Brianna at Overflow Studios for the backup mic because mine is full and she gave me hers. So, man, she gonna get a free photo shoot or something. Well, her born day coming up, y'all. So, and my daughter's birthday is tomorrow. Oh wow. So yeah, I'm about to jump off of here and yeah, I gotta send out the love to the babies while I'm out of town. And all right, peace, love, and blessings, family. Mr. Alien Eyez Photos Industry Talk is out for the day. But you already know what I say. If you need me for coaching or event photography, I am your guy. And visit alieneyesphotos.com. That's Alien Eyez Photos with a Z. Photos. Did I say photos with a Z? Photos with a S. Alien Eyez Photos. Eyes with a Z. Photos with a S. And I'm out. I'm tired, as y'all could tell. Peace.